Tonight on NewsVision. Tired of sitting in Miami traffic? Well, we have some good news for you. A new transportation service is now in place to help Miami drivers cut down their commute by taking a shortcut on the water.
Having a water taxi get to and from Miami to Miami Beach in 18 minutes and have this beautiful view while doing it, couldn't be better.
I'll give you more details about it.
Hurricane season is in less than a month and many Floridians are already busy preparing for it.
We'll tell you what to expect and what experts are predicting.
And later on, I'll introduce you to a South Florida cheer team that makes it possible for people of all abilities to show off their spirit. All these stories and more coming up on NewsVision, and it starts right now.
Shay, I just want to say I'm loving the green for this show.
It's a great look. We got every single type of green you could look at on set right now, and it's going to be a great show.
I'm Madison Block.
And I'm Shay McDonald. And it ain't easy being green, but it ain't easy driving to and from Miami Beach, as it's often a struggle. Although the distance between campus and Miami Beach is less than 15 miles, depending on the time of day, it can take about an hour and a half and sometimes even longer.
But now a new service is providing an alternative to driving across Biscayne Bay. Brian Matute joins us now live from Miami Beach to tell us more. Brian, what's this new exciting way to beat the traffic?
The city of Miami Beach is introducing a brand new free water taxi service that runs from Miami Beach to downtown. Now this here is Maurice Gibb Memorial Park, and this is one of two docks. The other one is in downtown itself, and it's the Venetian Marina. And what this is basically allowing people to do is to get free or reduced transportation to and from Miami Beach. It's allowing people to have to pay less gas prices, having to pay less for ride shares, and getting to beat these long lines. Bumper to bumper, traffic is nothing new in Miami Beach. But one new initiative is taking commuters off the streets and to the shores.
I think everyone thinks it. We have so much water here. Traffic is very challenging in all of Florida, but certainly South Florida. And this is a way to enjoy our waterways for free.
On January 20th, the city of Miami Beach launched a free water taxi service, giving both locals and tourists a new way to get around.
It could not be more urgent to have this now. With the traffic issues we're facing in South Florida and Miami Beach, having a water taxi get to and from Miami to Miami Beach in 18 minutes and have this beautiful view while doing it, it couldn't be better.
During the rush hours, AM and PM peak, it's always congested, so there is no way like you can cross it quickly. And a water taxi provides you this opportunity because it's on a waterway, you don't have any traffic.
The taxis run between Maurice Gibb Memorial Park, right off of Purdy Avenue, and the Venetian Marina in downtown Miami, offering more than 900 riders daily round-trip transportation.
Most of the day, they're running at capacity, so we have instances when we have to leave people behind. They cannot just simply accommodate any more passengers, and they have to wait for another vessel.
The water taxi initiative started in 2020, but the early attempts fell short, mainly because riders had to pay. But this time, riders can hop on the taxi free of charge.
So we've tried some water taxis in the past. They've always been private companies, paid service, charging like $15 a ride. It's just, I've always said that's never going to work. Nobody's going to do it. It's got to be free or very minimal. So it took a number of years to get the concept off the ground.
And beyond cutting commute times, the water taxi could also help the environment.
It's clean, it's efficient, it's environmentally friendly. It's a win-win all around.
With Miami Beach constantly hosting events that attract visitors across the world, options like the water taxi are key to stopping the standstill.
We're trying to mitigate the traffic. The traffic is the biggest challenge in Miami Beach. And really, it makes sense, especially during the special events. And Miami Beach has special event almost every month.
And this may be just the beginning. With plans to add more docks and routes, the city is looking to expand and better connect Miami Beach by water.
Connecting our entire city. I don't think it's that far off.
Now, during the initial launch, the water taxi runs weekdays from around 7 in the morning to around 8 p.m. And although it brings numerous benefits to the environment and to people in general, some people say that the funding from Miami Beach would be better used for allocations like parking lots. Reporting live from Miami Beach, I'm Brian Matute, UMTV.
Thank you, Brian. Besides the traffic, housing is another topic that impacts many Miami residents.
Jaden Cohey joins us to tell us what some Miami-Dade County leaders are doing to advance some affordable housing projects that have been sitting unfinished for years. Jaden, can you just tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, when I went downtown for the commissioners meeting on Tuesday, the overall topic of conversation was affordable housing across Miami-Dade County. But when it got to item 2B, you can tell the energy in the room kind of shifted a little bit because it changed to accountability, and I got a chance to see why this topic was so important to the community of Little Haiti. While this empty plot of land may look like grass and trees, it represents a project that has taken more than a decade to complete. On Tuesday, Miami-Dade commissioners discussed item 2B, a measure that gives developers 2 more years to finish homes under the county's infill housing program, a program designed to provide affordable housing to low and moderate income families in Little Haiti.
Oh, we feel secure and safe because our goal is to build housing for low-income people.
This is just one of 3 properties that were given to developers 12 years ago. But legal battles, title issues, and rising costs have caused major delays, leaving families waiting years for a chance at home ownership.
The previous owner or the county that didn't pay the taxes, so the county took the lot. So since he has a lot of clouds in the title, we spent about 7 years litigating.
But this issue goes beyond just one project. Commissioners say it raises a bigger question about accountability across the county.
When we failed on something as important as affordable housing, then it hurts the community.
And some say the system itself may be a part of the problem.
Because of term limits, these properties could be floating around for 15, even 20 years without being developed.
Now leaders are looking at possible solutions, including limiting how many extensions developers can get.
I think we should probably limit the number of extensions that commissioners could give for these properties.
Commissioners also stress that this is a county-wide issue, not just one district.
While I may not have as many units in District 12 as maybe, let's say, Commissioner Bastien does in her district, the public doesn't differentiate, and especially those that need it. And we are seen as a collective body that represents the public of Miami-Dade County.
Now, with a 2-year extension in place, developers say they're ready to move forward and build.
We're going to work with a general contractor so he can build it in 10 months.
And for the families still waiting, the hope is this time the project doesn't stall again. Jaden Cohey, UMTV.
Thank you, Jaden. Just another great story that we were able to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, all these different things around here in Miami this hurricane season. And right now, we got William DePaula and Ann Badowski, our meteorologist, with a little bit more. Guys, what can we expect?
Yeah, guys, earlier this week, experts came out with their predictions for the upcoming hurricane season. Now, as you take a look behind me, you can see they're either predicting an average, maybe just a little bit below average season. This is right on par with what we actually saw last year. Now, even though going into that year, they were predicting an above average season. Now, these predictions are all based off of what's going on with the El Nino oscillation.
So it's hard to know. There's some good signs if you don't like busy activity because there's some signs of El Nino coming in. So if that's the case, that causes more wind shear in the Atlantic and usually keeps the storms a little weaker, and there's usually less of them.
When we have La Nina conditions, we actually, in the Pacific Ocean, have this area of warm air that's being pushed by the trade winds. But in the case of El Nino, those winds are actually subsiding, and that warm air is actually able to retreat back towards South America, and that warming of the ocean is actually what's impacting our wind shear values here in Miami for our hurricane season.
Thank you, Will and Ann. The 305 was a colorful and vibrant as ever on Saturday, teeming with support for the LGBTQ+ community. More than 150,000 people gathered along Ocean Drive last weekend for the city's 18th annual Miami Beach Pride Festival, the culmination of a 10-day-long celebration of arts and culture.
18th anniversary of Miami Beach Pride, we decided that the perfect theme is Pride is Infinite because it celebrates the infinite diversity, creativity, and strength of our resilient LGBTQ+ community.
Highlights from the weekend featured a variety of entertainment, including a queer art showcase, a beauty pride pageant, and a drag show concert in the heart of South Beach at Loomis Park.
April is Autism Awareness Month, and over the weekend, the Miami-Dade Fire Department hosted its 7th annual Autism Awareness Bike Ride. On Saturday, hundreds of riders came together at the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Training Facility in Doral for a 12 or 40-mile bike ride supporting individuals with autism. Among them, first responders and families to support autism funding and awareness.
And I think it's really special for the autism community because I'm autistic too. There needs to be more information and how to deal with autism, not to change them, but how to improve their ability in what they do.
Since 2019, the event has raised more than $80,000 to help families access therapies, reinforcing that autism is not a limitation, but a different way of thinking and learning.
Time for a short break, but when NewsVision returns, we'll bring you details about the abrupt resignation of a California congressman in the middle of election season. Plus, we'll show you how one program in North Miami is helping the less fortunate put food on the table. Details coming up.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
A fifth woman has come forward accusing former Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of sexual misconduct. Swalwell resigned from Congress Tuesday as his colleagues were preparing to remove him. The latest accuser says she met Swalwell 3 times in 2018 while she was working as a model in Beverly Hills. At their third meeting, she says he drugged her and then raped her.
Pain, particularly the painful stories that we had to hear from these brave women who came forward, and we should take a moment and thank them for their bravery and make sure that we're building a better political system and a safer workplace.
A lawyer for Swalwell has issued a statement saying the former congressman, quote, categorically and unequivocally denies each and every allegation of sexual misconduct and assault that has been levied against him. Swalwell was the favorite in the race to succeed California Governor Gavin Newsom. After his exit, Republican Steve Hilton is currently leading in the polls.
On Wednesday, veterans joined members of the UM community at the University of Miami School of Nursing to screen a movie that sparks conversation about the transition to civilian life after military service. The movie is called My Dead Friend Zoe. It follows a U.S. Army veteran struggling with grief and the transition back to civilian life, something that many veterans describe as isolating.
You feel very isolated. There are things and conversations that you just can't have with somebody who's not walked that life and been in that life before. That really makes it difficult for us to share those similarities with people.
Organizers say this event helps bridge the gap between veterans and the civilian community through shared storytelling and understanding.
Now over to another event on the iconic Lincoln Road in Miami Beach, where people are putting on their dancing shoes and hitting the streets with open-air tango.
Mary Stos is live there now with more. Mary, tell us more about the event.
Open air tango has become one of the most popular and long-standing traditions here on Miami Beach, and it's open to all ages, all dance experience. So if you're like me, and you've only ever seen the Argentine tango performed on Dancing with the Stars, you can come here and take classes for free with some seasoned vets. Founder Lorena Diaz started this event 8 years ago, and it has become one of the largest public tango events in the Miami area. And I'm actually joined by Ms. Diaz herself. She has been teaching me a couple of moves, and let me tell you, she is most certainly a pro. Now, unfortunately, this is their last event of the season, but if you and your friends are looking to put on your dancing shoes, you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Open Air Tango. Live from Miami Beach, Mary Stos, UMTV.
Smooth moves, Mary. And further north on Miami Beach, a food distribution is helping families facing food insecurity. Lauren Harrington has the story.
This Saturday, a line of hundreds stretches around Kipp Elementary in North Miami. bags in hand, waiting for their turn at a food distribution. The event is hosted by Joshua's Heart Foundation, a nonprofit focused on providing food and basic necessities to people in need. Inside, volunteers work together, unloading, organizing, and preparing food for those waiting. Christiana Desir has been coming to these distributions for over 10 years, helping provide for her family of 4. She says supporting a household that size is not easy.
When we come at Joshua, we got everything to eat, to help the children, to help the family.
Joshua's Heart Foundation was founded in 2007 in South Florida by Joshua Williams, who was just 4 years old when he learned people in his community were going hungry.
So I usually don't say this because I like to do behind the scenes, but yeah, I'm Joshua's mom, so I've been there from the start. Being a part of Joshua's Art has changed me so much because this is not what I'd envision I'd be doing right now, but I can't see myself without being a part of it.
Today, the organization engages people of all ages, showing that helping can start at any age.
I just want to help people. That's what I want to do. Like the person that needs help, you just spread them kindness.
According to Feeding America, 1 in 7 people in South Florida face food insecurity, making distributions like these critical for families who rely on them.
Bless to Joshua, porque y dame buenos servicios para toda familia.
Back outside, the line continues to move. Families leave with bags of food, and for many, a little less uncertainty. And for Christiana, distributions like this help ease the pressure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Even if only for a short time.
I pray for Joshua every day, every night, because God have to give this company more strength and more to give us, to help us with the life.
For UMTV, I'm Lauren Harrington.
Again, another great story we were able to cover. Definitely a lot going on in the Miami Beach area.
Yeah, and speaking of the beach, let's take a look at those beach conditions. Ann Badowski is back with us with more on the weather. Ann, what you got?
Even though that sun is out, those swimming conditions might be a little bit risky. We do still have those rip current statements in the area. If you've been paying attention to beach conditions over the past few days, you've noticed that these have been pretty consistent. It's because we've had these higher winds that are actually contributing to those rip current risks that we have been seeing. Even right now, we have 16 miles per hour here in Miami, definitely something that you're going to be noticing. But as those winds start to subside, that's when we're going to see our rip current and beach conditions start to improve. You can see fairly low wind values, but those are unfortunately going to mean that we're going to be heating up on our temperatures. Even right now, we have 78 here in Miami, 82 up in Jacksonville. Very hot for at least this time of the day. Unfortunately, also as we head into the weekend, that means we're going to have some moisture that's going to be joining us. Luckily, though, by the time we're in next Tuesday, that's when you see those areas of dry air that are going to be pushing into Miami, leading to some beautiful conditions. Even for our dew points, you can see 57 for Tuesday and Wednesday. Definitely going to be dry. When those dew point temperatures and regular temperatures are close to each other, that's when we're having those more humid conditions, and that's what we're going to be seeing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you are heading out this weekend, you'll have that sunshine, but that moisture is going to be sticking around, making things a little bit humid. But those moisture values also are going to be contributing to some of those pop-up showers that we are so used to here in Miami. You might be seeing some as you're waking up tomorrow, as we head into Saturday as well. You can see some of those pop-up showers, and so just something to keep an eye on. And if you're heading to that spring game as well, beautiful conditions, low precipitation, but once again, that humidity is what you're going to be noticing the most as you head into the game that day. But as for your 7-day, you can see that those storms are going to be joining us a little bit next week on Monday, but as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when those nice dew point temperatures and those beautiful temperatures are going to be joining us once again. And just like our weather, our oceans can be difficult to understand. I got to follow one program that is helping kids dive into the science of it all. Exposing students to science at a young age can shape their future. And at the University of Miami's Rosenstiel School, a program called WAVES is doing just that. It's called WAVES, a hands-on marine science program that gives students in grades K through 12 a chance to dive into the world of science.
A lot of us here at Rosenstiel all really loved the ocean since we were little, so we want to make sure that we give that early access to these type of opportunities for all of our students here in Miami-Dade. Third grade students from local schools visited campus last Friday, rotating through interactive stations designed to teach them about ocean conservation and marine life.
I get to learn about the sharks and the alligators and crocodiles, and my favorite one was the shark station.
From examining shark teeth to measuring sea turtle shells, students were able to experience science firsthand.
This is Noodles the manatee. Noodles is here to teach these kids about how to report stranded or injured animals to FWC. Not only do they get experience in giving details about the manatee's injuries, like these old cuts and these fresh cuts, but they get to see how veterinarians tag and treat the animals.
But we also really want them to engage with the STEM aspect of it. So we want them to feel like they can be a scientist if they want to and learn potential career fields that maybe they never knew about.
The program, run by a university course and volunteers, was created in 2008 and is now reaching students in grade schools across Miami-Dade County. Organizers say hands-on experiences like these can have a lasting impact, especially at a young age.
Studies show that when students are engaged in hands-on activities and field trips and experiential learning at younger ages, they're more likely to go into the science field.
The event is made possible by up to 100 volunteers, including undergraduate students who help run each station.
We try to make it as interactive as possible for them, just so they know that, science is real and you can do it. It's just really cool to see them have those light bulb moments.
Organizers say they hope programs like WAVES will continue to inspire the next generation of scientists, one hands-on experience at a time. With UMTV, I'm Ann Badowski.
Coming up on NewsVision, football is back after about a 3-month break. Fans can watch the Canes in action again this Saturday in the spring game. We'll tell you what players to watch. Plus, the WNBA draft was on Monday, and there's more to the story than just whose name was called. We'll take you there after the break. Stay with us. Welcome to sports. I'm Taryn Jacobs. Rory McIlroy made history in Augusta over the weekend, becoming the 4th golfer ever to win back-to-back Masters, and he claimed his 6th major championship as well. McIlroy took home his 2nd green jacket and a hefty check, winning by 1 single stroke. Tiger Woods was the last one to accomplish consecutive wins back in 2002.
It's just a part of the journey, and I still have things that I want to achieve, and but I still want to enjoy it as well. I've waited so long to win the Masters, and all of a sudden I win 2 in a row. So.
And there you can see him celebrating with his family. His parents almost not going to come this year because of superstition when they didn't come last year, but he said he's glad they did. And right here on campus, Canes football will be playing in the spring football game this Saturday, April 18th. Talent will be on full display. There's a lot of buzz surrounding transfer quarterback Darian Mensah, and fans will be able to see the potential chemistry that's loading between him and some of the new receivers, such as his former teammate at Duke, Cooper Barkate, as well as freshman wide receiver Samorian Wingo, who has been sensational in practice. Flipping it over to the defense, a hungry defensive line is ready to live up to the standards set by Ruben Bain Jr. and Akeem Mesidor last year. Saturday cannot come soon enough. To the hardwood now, the Miami Heat missed the playoffs for the first time since 2019 after losing by just 1 point in an overtime thriller. Let's take it to the Spectrum Center for the highlights. We'll start in the 4th because that's where all the fun happens. A slam dunk there by Andrew Wiggins, 27 points on the day for him. Now there, the Hornets coming up the field, laying that one in off the glass. I mean, did he even try to put that one in? A little ball movement over here, and it'll coming off from downtown. The 1-point game now. The Hornets are down, and from the corner, this one will tie the game. 10 seconds to go. Tyler Hero trying to be the hero, but that one will not fall. To overtime we go, but it's Hero again, and this one will go in for them. The Heat are closing in the gap. Now they're winning here, but the Hornets put that one in. The final basket of the game as the Heat try to close this one out, but that will not work, and the Heat are knocked out from playoff contention. But the Canes and Jay Lucas are wasting no time in the transfer portal, picking up 2 big commits in Caden Lewis from Villanova and Somto Surreal out of Georgia. Caden Lewis coming off his standout freshman season, averaging just over 12 points per game and 5 assists per game and 3 rebounds per game as well. And Samto Surreal is one of the nation's most efficient players in the post. Last season put up just 9 points per game and 5 rebounds per game. Also top 15 nationally for blocks at 2.2 per game. And the script could not have been written more perfectly for the WNBA draft. Azzy Fudd and Paige Becker's former teammates at UConn have been reunited on the professional stage when Fudd went #1 overall in the WNBA draft. Last year, Beckers also went #1 to the Dallas Wings, and Fudd became UConn's 7th #1 overall pick of all time. But what makes this so special is that the two of them are actually dating. After the draft, Fudd shared what it means for them to play together again.
It wasn't until last year that we really got a chance to actually play together, and even then it wasn't a full season. So I feel like there's still so much left on the table and so much unknown on just so much potential with not just her, but the entire Dallas Wings roster.
Today was the first day that a reporter asked Fudd about the relationship, and the Wings PR team immediately shut the question down. But during their time together at UConn, Fudd and Beckers combined for one of the most talented backcourts. They made 2 Final Four appearances together, including in 2025 when they won the NCAA championship. And finally, 2 young cheerleaders in South Florida are preparing for one of the biggest competitions in the sport, and they're doing it all while overcoming challenges that many athletes never face. Layla Pettis is here with more. Layla?
As inclusive sports programs continue to grow, one local team is heading to a national stage, proving that ability has more than one definition.
They don't speak the same language. One speaks English, the other Spanish, but somehow they understand each other perfectly. Kaylee Gallegos and Annalise Padro met here on a cheer mat.
And our 2 girls were like magnets to each other.
This team is called Elite Athletic Superstars, and it's part of a small but growing movement focused on inclusive athletics. But access remains limited. Programs like this are still rare and often expensive or hard to find.
I know there's not really that many options available when it comes to cheerability teams.
For these athletes, that makes this opportunity even more critical. They train multiple times a week preparing for one of the biggest sports stages.
It's like the first cheerability team cheerleaders to represent the state of Florida ever.
The Cheerleading World Championships at ESPN's Wide World of Sports.
They want to just go out there on that huge stage and just show off that they're able to do it just like anybody else.
For these girls, this competition is a test of confidence, independence, and belonging.
All we want for them is to feel proud of themselves and to do the best they can.
Because outside this gym, many families say their children still face barriers, from limited programs to social isolation.
If it wasn't for this team and for them, my daughter would be alone. It's just me and her, so.
And my daughter wouldn't have any friends.
But here, they find something different. Confidence, community, and connection, even without words.
Without actual communication, they communicate. We have not a clue what they're saying, but they understand.
And now, they're taking that connection to the national stage, not just to compete, but to remind everyone that ability has no limits.
No barriers.
Yeah, no barriers.
Not in this community.
Because in a world that often focuses on differences, these 2 best friends are a reminder that you don't have to speak the same language to understand and love each other.
Layla, that was a really great story that you were able to tell.
Yeah, Layla, I hear they have a performance coming up.
Yes, they are performing on Saturday, April 25th at the Walt Disney World Resorts in Kissimmee, Florida. You guys should check it out.
Oh, absolutely. They seem like a great dynamic duo right there in the cheerleading scene. But I think that's all we have for today.
Yeah, well, that's all the time we have for this week of NewsVision. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next Thursday for the finale, a 1-hour-long edition of NewsVision, the last episode of the semester. Have a good night.